Tēnā tātou katoa, good evening. Life is going to change significantly for Kiwis living in Australia. It's about to become a lot easier for them to get citizenship and therefore access to a wide range of supports. It means the hundreds of thousands of Kiwis living there will no longer be treated as second-class citizens, as one Australian minister put it. Here's political reporter Amelia Wade.
Australians are let us rejoice.
Rejoicing isn't just for the Aussies today, Kiwis can get amongst. Advances today are finally making Australia fair.
I think it's a blimmin' good day for Kiwis who are living in Australia.
After Kiwi citizenship rights were eroded there in 2001, the Australians are now restoring them, expecting to affect almost 400,000 Kiwis living there without dual citizenship.
It is the biggest improvement in the rights of New Zealanders living in Australia in a generation.
The changes will apply to Kiwis who've arrived since 2001 and lived in Australia for 4 years. They need to meet the standard criteria for citizenship, including character checks, and can show they want to live in Australia long term. And for children born in Australia since July 1st last year to a Kiwi parent, they'll automatically be entitled to citizenship so they can access critical services.
I think it's very significant. I think, to all intents and purposes, they'll be Aussies. They will have been born there. They'll know no other country than that.
Kiwis Donna and Norm Lewis have lived on the Sunshine Coast for 20 years, volunteering as firefighters. The barriers for Norm to get citizenship were immense.
Feels like he is a second-class citizen.
Norm recently developed dementia, so Donna left work to care for him. If he was a citizen, she would be paid to be his carer.
Citizenship for us means being able to remain together in a country that you actually live in.
I think Prime Minister Albanese's comment that New Zealanders living in Australia have been treated as permanently temporary and that was unfair, unjust and unsustainable. I think he was absolutely right in that regard.
So for a country that once so famously asked,
"So where the bloody hell are you?"
Kiwis who can now become dual citizens can be forgiven for asking what the bloody hell has taken so long.
Amelia joins us now from Brisbane. She's there for the Prime Minister's Anzac catch-up with Anthony Albanese. So, Amelia, why has this recognition of Kiwis in Australia taken so long?
It's taken a change in government. This has long been a promise of the Australian Labor Party and of Anthony Albanese, who might be hoping he's now created a new 500,000 voters who might be looking to thank him at the next federal election. He may even get a few more if more Kiwis decide to make the journey across the ditch and make it here their home. Hipkins says there's no way of knowing how many might make that move, but he says his job now is to make New Zealand as attractive a place to live as possible. But the rights of Kiwis in Oz has long been a thorn in the side of our relationship with Australia. So this new no-strings deal means for the first time in more than 2 decades there is no friction with our closest ally. The two Prime Ministers will be looking to seal this deal with a sausage sizzle tomorrow, and then there's only one really important job left, and that's deciding what we call the new Kiwi and Australian dual citizens. 2 suggestions: Kiwazzies or Aussies.
Amelia Wade, thank you for the update.